Hello everyone, welcome to Deep Techno Elite. I am Deepmala Vakode. In the last session, we have learned how to set cookie in PHP. Also, we have seen how to access and delete the cookie. In this session, I am going to show you how we can use the session in PHP. We will see what is session and how we can create and destroy the session. So, let's get started with subscribing the channel and hit the bell so you don't miss anything. So, what is a session? A session is a global variable that stores information to be used across multiple pages. Unlike a cookie, the information is not stored on the user's computer. A session variable stores on the server. Each session is assigned a unique ID which is used to retrieve stored value. A session creates a file in a temporary directory on the server where registered session variables and their values are stored. This data will be available to all pages on the site during the visit. When the PHP script wants to retrieve the values from the session variable, PHP automatically gets the unique session identifier string from the PHP sesID, that is session ID cookie, and then looks in its temporary directory for the file bearing that name, and a validation can be done by comparing both values. The session values are automatically deleted when the browser is closed or a user loses the connection. If you want to store the values permanently, then you should store them in the database. So, why we use session? When you are developing an application such as shopping cart that has to temporarily store information with a capacity larger than 4 KB and you want to store important information such as user ID more securely on the server where malicious user cannot tamper with them, and you want to pass values from one page to another, then the session global variable is an efficient and more secure way to store the values on the server. So, let's move on and see how we can create a session. So let's start the Visual Studio Code, and don't forget to start the XAMPP server. Here I am going to create a file called session.php. A PHP session is easily started by calling the session start function. This function first checks if a session is already started or not. If not, then it starts one. A session variable is stored in an associative array called $_session. Now, I am going to show you an example that stores a session and increment a counter each time the page is visited during the session. So, let's have a PHP tag here. In order to create a session, you must first call the PHP session start function and then store your values in the session array variable. So, let's start the session here, semicolon, and then I am going to have a if condition here. If it's set $_session variable followed by a square bracket and in a single quote. Now let's have page count. The isSet function checks if a session variable is set or not. If a session variable is set, then $_session square bracket and in a single quote page count plus equals to 1 semicolon. If the session variable is set, then it increments the counter by 1, else session variable square bracket and a page count equals to 1, end with the semicolon. And now I am going to have echo UR visitor number and now let's concatenate the session variable $_session square bracket and page count end with the semicolon. Save this and let's have a look at the result in the browser. Type here localhost :8080 /tutorial/ and the file name session.php. And here we can see you are visitor number 1. And let's see what happens if I refresh the page. The page count increased by 1. Each time I reload the page count will increase. And now let's see how we can destroy the session. A PHP session can be destroyed by calling the session destroy function. This function does not need any argument and a single call can destroy all the session variable. If you want to destroy a single session variable, then you can use unset function to unset a session variable. So let's see how we can unset a single variable. Here unset function. And now let's pass the variable $_session square bracket and page count, end with the semicolon. Save this and reload the page. And here we can see you are visitor number 1. And if I reload page again, the counter is not going to be increased because here we have unset the session and only this condition is going to be executed. And now let's see how we can destroy all the session variable. Let's comment this. And here we can use session destroy function to destroy all the session variables. Save this and reload the page. And here we can see you are visitor number 1 because all the sessions are destroyed. Well, that's all for today's session. In the next session, we will see some more interesting things in PHP. To learn more, subscribe the channel and hit the bell to receive the notification. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like and comment below. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon.